building, that's where you're actually going to get the weight off, okay? And then we'll go back to this here in a second. Lifestyle living is more important because guess what? Now, you guys, if you've ever lost weight before, you gain it back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what maybe hasn't changed?
Your lifestyle.
There you go. So how I like to look at this is and we'll guide you through this. So be thinking about what this looks like in the future, and while you're sitting here thinking, I want you to think about your why. Why did you come tonight? Is it to lose weight, or to lose it and keep it off, or there may be some other reason, you want to jump on more trampolines again?
Not roll the ankle.
We're going to pick on the boys up front. So this phase one, this is the actual, what we call it, the weight loss portion of it. So you're on this until you get that defined weight loss off. So whatever that we decide that's where you want to be, we're going to figure that out here. So that's what I like to call infancy. So that's the beginning. It's like Garanimals. If you guys ever heard of those clothing lines where you picked and matched clothes, we have some products around here that will help you with, and it's a partial meal replacement. The next phase is we actually take one of our ideal proteins away, add more animal proteins like middle school, get a little more freedom. Phase 3 is for 2 weeks. That's the stabilization, and actually JC's in that, one of the girls here, pharmacists here, that they're taking away more, and she's getting more, all the 4 food groups in the morning. So that is like high school, okay? Phase 4, the first year of stabilization, that's like college. Go away to college, you're gonna mess up, you get to come back home, and we're gonna help you out. We work with you for a year on this. Now, do you have to use our products or anything? No, we're actually giving you, it's more coaching, helping you with meal planning, because now the hard work begins. Now you've got to figure out macros, you've got to figure out what is your trigger weight. So trigger weight, let's say it's 10 pounds, 7 to 10 pounds. Figure that out. If you ever gain it back, you come back and you start, and you're part of the family, and you just clean it up for, like a week or 2. Usually about 3 weeks is a good time to clean it up. Over here, maintenance is the years after. Years. You're just part of the family. We're going to keep you intact. The BMR right here, have you guys heard of BMR? Basal metabolic rate. So that's basically getting up out of bed, rolling over, not doing much, what your body burns. So like mine, 1,267 calories. So on days where I'm in the car driving and not doing a lot, not eating a lot. So you want to, and each of us has a different one. Now yours is going to be a lot higher. Now if a gentleman is not eating enough, they can go into starvation mode. So it's important to know what this is, and they're going to calculate that when you lose or get the weight off, okay? So don't worry about this. This is just kind of a guideline, but think of it as a roadmap, okay? All righty.
Can I say one thing real quick?
You can say whatever you want.
I am so excited about what she's doing because she approached me a year ago in March, and at that time we were very, very busy. I was busy with a lot of things in my life, and we just didn't jump at the opportunity, which now I just want to kick myself in the butt for that because I was trying to lose some weight, and I did it all wrong. I did starvation mode, and I know I lost some muscle mass, and I know I did some things wrong, and this program is amazing because of what she just said there, that phase 4. I think that is the key. It's keeping us healthy, keeping us accountable, and you have somebody to come back to. So anyway, so we had JC and Jenny.
So that's your why, too.
Yeah. And we could get back to you guys and get you off some meds and get people off stuff. And I'm just so excited about offering something to our patients so we could get them off some meds. They don't need to be on anymore. You know how important that is for your insurance, whatever. But then I got 2 pharmacists, JC and Jenny. Jenny is going to be our primary coach, and she couldn't make it tonight. And then JC is another, and they're both PharmDs. And they jumped on board, and they're like, we want to do this. So then we were like, yes, we have pharmacists that could coach this, professionals. And so then, boom, 3 weeks ago, all in. All in.
And you are on phase 3 now. So all the coaches actually that work here have been on protocol, except for the fact that Jenny is nursing. So she lives a fit and healthy life and uses the products as meal replacements. But you can tell your story, JC.
I guess I didn't know that much about Ideal Protein until Tracy approached us, and I've been the one that I guess has followed the protocol in full. I'm in the 3rd phase, like Tracy I think has explained a little bit now. And in the first 2 weeks of my starting, I lost all the weight that I wanted. It was 10 pounds. So I've phased off since then, and it's been going well. It's a little bit different at first. but you get through it, and then it's great. You feel a lot better, I feel like, so.
Mhm.
Yep.
So we are, like I said, we're a weight management and lifestyle protocol. So obesity is a disease, and we have to keep continually treating that. It is not going away, and we need to treat that with a nutritional protocol, okay? So we have a video that we're going to share with you guys, and we're going to talk about a few other little things here.
Yeah, run it from your laptop. And then
Run it through your laptop, and then when you're ready for hip plate, and then
Just blow up.
Yep, blow up.
Oops, I hit it.
Obesity as a disease. According to the National
Can you
Institute
hear
of
this?
Health, nearly 70% of Americans 20 years of age and older are either overweight or obese. Twice what this number was in 1980. It is now clear that weight-related
That Americans ate, okay? So 5 pounds in 1905. So fast forward to now, and we're going to go to 2008. What do you think that statistic was for the amount of pounds of sugar we ate in a year? Take a guess. 5 in 1905. What was it?
32.
Okay. Anyone else?
It's gonna be higher than that.
Yeah, you're right, it is. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
150 to 200 pounds.
Pounds of sugar.
Yes. Because think of the bread has 4 teaspoons of sugar in it. So you think you're eating healthy. And I'm not saying there's healthy options, but they will slow down weight loss. So in maintenance, there's things that you can have, but it's all about the sugars, okay? So we'll keep going here. And I stopped it like a few seconds early, so I apologize.
which represents the equivalent of 5 teaspoons of
5
sugar.
teaspoons, sorry. I hit it.
This leads to a collection of symptoms, collectively
answer.
known as the metabolic syndrome. These symptoms include
So do you guys understand the role of insulin? And okay, another thing that I'm going to show you why we're here. This is just kind of a staggering statistic, and I'm going to stand right here. So this chart is the national obesity trends, and this shows 1987. Okay, so the white space, there was no data. Then we have 10% and 10 to 14% obesity. So like Texas is one of them. So 1987. Okay, the next one was 1997. So now, in 10 years, we've jumped, and now we even have some new criteria where over 20% of the state is obese. Okay? So that's a 10-year jump. We get to 2010. Look at this map now. We don't even have blue. There's now the 2016 statistic. We have a whole new color. So they have to recolor this whole thing, so it's not out yet. So now there's areas that are from 50 to 60% obesity rates for states. So if you look at from 87 to what's happened now, almost 2016, and why our next generation is not going to live as long as us. So we are in a crisis, and it's pretty scary when you look at that. So I want you tonight also to think of the physiological part of it. So not just the weight portion, or thinking about, oh, I have to lose weight. You've got to think about it for my health and how you feel, how your body feels. So
Scary,
start
isn't
back
it?
with you.
how we store fat.
I'm going to add in another little thing here, guys. So we're going to look at like a standard North American diet, okay? So we're going to take a look at the calories versus the carbohydrates. So like this person started out with having a bagel from Panera. So you're in Grand Island or Kearney, you go get a bagel, get the Cinnamon Crunch one. 2 ounces of cream cheese, 8 ounces of orange juice. Now, 8 ounces, you really don't get 8 ounces anymore. It's usually 12, 20, whatever that is. So, but we're going to have 8 ounces here. 2 coffees with half and half, 2 sugars, and later 1 coffee with half and half and 2 sugars. So at this point, you can see all the carbohydrates that are added up here. Okay, and that's going to continue to go. Later, we're going to add in for lunch a Big Mac. They supersize their fries. Their Coke is supersized. Now look at, okay, so the Coke. For carbohydrates, now there's 4 grams of carbohydrates, or 4 calories per gram, okay? So there's 113 grams of carbohydrates in a supersized Coke. It's huge. So just soda alone. So Snickers, and that one's about 37. So then that's pretty, not a crazy day, but, a lot of people eat this. I'm talking, there's a lot of people, kids, let's see. Then you go home for dinner and you're having a spaghetti with marinara sauce, 2 cups, garlic bread, 3 slices. Maybe it's a big man. And 8 ounces of milk.
I don't know. I could eat.
I could eat that.
I'm like, I could eat all this. I'm not gonna lie. I can eat like a man. Okay, but I eat healthy. So, so here you're gonna have then later 2 chocolate chips and 8 ounces of milk, and their total. So 4,446 calories for the day, and 683 grams of carbohydrates. So what's your body gonna be doing? Producing a lot of insulin, insulin. What does it do with the leftover insulin?
Stores it.
Creates a triglyceride. You got little fats. So the next one that we have, oh, and it just shows 166 teaspoons of sugar, or 3.5 cups of sugar for the day. So if you can put your, thought process into what we're consuming, so that's pretty staggering. I don't know if that one. The next slide here starts out with, okay, so next morning we're gonna have instant oatmeal, 1 cup of Quaker, a banana, Starbucks banana mocha grande, which you probably, do you have Starbucks even here?
No, but we have a coffee shop.
Okay, so any other specialties, a glass of skim milk, and a granola bar, Nature Valley. They add in for lunch an Olive Garden salad, chicken breast, 4 ounces, and an apple. Not too bad, huh? The next they're going to have chicken for dinner, 8 ounces, half a cup of corn, white rice, 2 cups, 8 ounces of milk, strawberry yogurt. So the total is 427 calories, or 27 grams of carbohydrates, and 2447 for the calories. That day seems like it was better, which it is, but it's still 106 teaspoons, or 2 and 2/4 cups of sugar. So crazy, huh? So it puts it in a frame of mind to kind of look and see some similar what meals and what your body is consuming. So start back on this.
Glucose.
Lose the weight, okay, losing muscle, and when you gain weight. Okay, so typical diets.
Do you want me to hand those out, or are you just gonna?
I'll just
Okay.
do this
Yep,
if you don't, and
Nope.
then they can kind of, we'll be
If they want it,
interactive.
they could take it home with
Yes, so I have they're in different
Oh, sure.
because I didn't know how we do this, so
Okay.
I'll number those next time. So typical diet, if you lose 20 pounds on a typical diet, and they're going to kind of explain what the typical diet is without us naming any names. So you're going to lose possibly 10 pounds of water and 10 pounds of lean tissue or lean mass, okay? Now, if you gain 20 pounds, what do you gain? Right here? Fat. You don't gain muscle just by gaining weight. We wish, but so with and that's a typical diet. Now, the ideal protein diet, you're going to lose 20 pounds of fat. Now, I'm going to say you're going to lose usually 19 pounds of fat and 1 pound of lean muscle, because you still could lose a little lean muscle, so I don't want to have any non-proof of that. No gain, maintain 20 pounds lost in your lifestyle management. So the idea, if you follow this, you're not going to gain. Now, it's natural to gain weight. People are going to go on vacation. Life's going to happen. We want you to live. Life's too short not to, but we teach you to have like a fun meal when you hit maintenance, and have that, and how you follow that up with our phase 1 of the protocol. Okay, so it's not like forever I cannot eat again. No, that's not what we're saying. But you can't eat the same way all the time, because it will creep back. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions thus far? You guys are such good students.
Elaborate.
Okay, I'm going to hand these out, actually. And so they weren't in order, but we're going to, now you guys can take this home, because this is just kind of some nice handouts, more of the physiological parts of things.
Yeah, I messed up. Sorry.
No. We added this in. She did not mess up. And so if you want that. Okay, so do you remember the 3 circles? And it said you had a glucose tank, a muscle tank, and a fat tank. Okay, so they work chronologically. So the glucose tank is the first one that your body goes to for a source of fuel, okay? Your body will store glycogen for 3 days, okay? So when you start our nutritional ketogenic diet, because they threw out the word ketosis, so ketosis is the fat burning portion. It's going to take about 4 to 5 days to deplete the glycogen, so this is this glucose tank, so we're lowering your carbohydrates. Okay, so the first 3 to 4 days are a little challenging. After that 4th, 5th day, when you actually hit ketosis, you actually have a lot more energy. You feel better. You might just feel sluggish at first, because your body's, all it is food. This is all food. So all you may feel, it's like going off soda, alcohol, whatever it's a detox basically, right? Okay. So your first tank here, like I said, your body, if you're eating a higher sugar diet and sample like we showed you, your body sits here and just burns its fuel from here. So we're depleting it. So the next tank that it goes to is this muscle tank, right? Okay. So it moves to muscle and fat to convert to glucose. So what we have to do so it doesn't chew up the muscle, which is called, if someone does starvation, that's called gluconeogenesis. It's like cannibalism of your muscles. Your body has a natural process. It's got to protect the muscle. So people, when she was saying, not picking on Angie, but we've all done it back in our day. Did the starvation diet and you took Dexatrim and you skipped everything, skipped your meals, right? So, but what happens is your body, your metabolism lowers and your body will eat the muscle up. The muscle's the engine that burns calories. So we want to protect the muscle, right? So we're going to give adequate protein. We're not a high protein diet, we're an adequate protein. The next and last tank is like the storage, or it's like, I always like to say, shut the front door and we're going to work in the basement. It's the hardest area to get to, but it's where we want to use all the energy from. So once we get into ketosis, you want to stay in ketosis and your body is burning that fat. Okay, does that make sense scientifically, what we're going through? So when you're thinking, so when you're on a protocol and you're thinking, gosh, I just really want a little bite of that muffin, what does your body stop doing if you're in ketosis? Puts on the brakes, just that little bit. I know it just tasted good, that's all, just a teeny bit. Okay, your body starts going right back here to glucose and it has to go through the process all over again. It's physiology. It doesn't care about that.
One bite?
Well, depending on what the sugars are, yeah, but it can throw you off that much.
Really?
Yeah, and so that's the emotional piece of it.
Yeah.
So we have some great things with the Beck diet. Have you ever heard of that? That's the emotional piece. That's a really good thing to add in for, just because that's a whole other story, is the emotional. But I always try to get people to put on the physiological hat when you're like, when that's creeping up, and those little, and you'll walk by, and you'll go into a store and you can smell like the cinnamon rolls or different things, just, okay, glucose, glucose. So there's another handout in here while we're sitting here. Well, this is an important one. So what about hunger? So if you go to this one, this is great because it's going to show you, you're getting about 1,000 calories intake from our partial meal replacement and the foods that you eat at home, okay? But you're getting and burning, your body, by being in ketosis, is going to burn 1,500 calories of fat. So your total calories per day is 2,500, okay? You're ingesting 1,000, but you're using the fat. So if you weren't eating an appropriate diet, your body would be going off and chewing that darn muscle. And what did we say with muscle? So then when you get off the program, you've lost muscle, and then you gain weight easier. Okay? Make sense? Got that clear? You guys can take this home just for all the fun reading you're going to have later. There was another one in here, and it just talked about how to use fat for fuel. The brain cannot use fat for fuel, so it must convert it to glycogen. Only on a balanced low-calorie diet, muscle mass is used in the process. So if you're having, like up front here, I can refer back to this, the balanced diet, it will use muscle. So, it's the key thing is you're going to listen to your coach along the way, and it'll make sense later. That's where the lifestyle and the stabilization and maintenance come in. So we're going to hold your hand and get you there. And it's easier. Actually, the diet portion is easier than lifestyle, because lifestyle is where you've got to learn to, like I said, it's like going to college. You're going to be like, what? I don't have to go to bed. I don't have to go to class. Everything my kids called me doing. No.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They better not. Less muscle equals less calories burned, equals slower metabolism, and hard to maintain weight. So just another good document here. And another one, the weight gain cycle. So this is one to kind of just look at the sugar cycle. Sugar is the culprit, guys. So it's just talking, let's see, I'll start up here. Blood sugar drops rapidly. We're very tired, so the brain wants more sugar. We eat high in carbs and sugar foods. Blood sugar rises. Pancreas produces insulin. Okay, so high blood sugar equals danger to the body. Cells resist insulin. We have too much. Whoops. And then guess what it does? It stores it as fat. Fat cells grow, and we go, then we crave it again, and we just go through the cycle. Okay? It's like crack cocaine. Right? Ladies, sugar is
Sugar
Well,
is,
it's in
yes.
everything. It's seems to be in it.
Well, it's in healthy foods too. So there's a natural sugar, and so yeah. So then that's where now with our standard American diet, and then I just watched a documentary on Food Inc. You guys seen that on YouTube? It's the production of food, and it's crazy. Just everything how it's packaged, and they did have the farmers and everything. And my dad raises cattle too, so I mean they're feeding them grain, and so the problems that our cattle have, and so I'm not against grain-fed cattle, but shouldn't even go into that topic here. But my dad raises cattle, so I'm not going to go into. I won't say anything.
Enters the ideal protein phase 1.